We've got a major update to react to here on Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and there's been a lot of talk about the Knicks being interested in making a blockbuster trade to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I'm here to tell you the dream might be dead before it ever even happened. Giannis saying, "I'm rooting for good basketball," when asked about the NBA Finals. He said, "The finals are different. I hope to be back soon with the Bucks." Well, maybe he's saying only the right things about the Bucks because he doesn't want to do bad by them. He didn't say he didn't want to be traded, but he also did not say he did want to be traded. We're going to talk about which star the New York Knicks could pursue next if Giannis is off the table at the tail end of today's show. But I wanted to go to this quote from Brian Windhorst as he went on ESPN's Get Up show this morning saying, "Right now, there is no Giannis Antetokounmpo trade market. There is no Giannis Antetokounmpo trade discussions. He has not asked for a trade. The Bucks are not looking to trade him. And it also kind of seems like Giannis isn't looking to be traded." He posted a picture on Instagram today as he is overseas enjoying vacation. And he posted it holding a Giannis Antetokounmpo jersey, a Bucks one. And he said, "Choosing gratitude always." Well, damn. I don't know if this is officially the door has been shut in our faces of a potential Giannis trade, but they are really getting close to potentially shutting that door. I'll say this. Giannis, I respect the hell out of you. I think you're the second best player in the NBA right now behind Nikola Jokic. You would be an idiot not to request a trade. You would be dumb, and you would waste another year of your prime if you decide to gear up again for the Milwaukee Bucks this season. That team is a joke. That organization is a joke. That roster is a joke. And as long as you stay a member of the Milwaukee Bucks, you are wasting your time and you are wasting your prime. I understand being loyal and choosing loyalty, but are the Bucks being loyal to you when it comes to winning a championship? Based off of the roster that they have right now? No. I mean, look at it. This roster stinks. This roster is no good. Also, Damian Lillard has a torn Achilles. He's not playing next year, which means the Bucks would have to run a team of Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, and no team is ever winning a championship with Kyle Kuzma as their second best player, Bobby Portis, Pat Connaughton, Kevin Porter Jr., AJ Green, Chris Livingston, Andre Jackson, Tyler Smith, Pete Nance, and Jameer Bouye. That's not a finals winning team. He is choosing loyalty to the city of Milwaukee and the organization of the Bucks. And look, I'm not one that is in any right spot to criticize Giannis's professional decisions. But I get paid here to do my job, which is give my opinion. Giannis is wasting his prime if he does not request a trade. Look, I get it. The Kobe legacy, one team, one dream, my whole career, but do you want to end your career counting on lottery balls? Because that's where that team is heading next season, even if you put together another NBA MVP type of season. Look, it's a long summer ahead. It's June 10th or whatever it may be. We're still 2 weeks away from the draft, and we're 3 weeks away from NBA free agency opening up. Anything can change, and I don't expect for Giannis to badmouth the Bucks prior to being dealt by the Bucks, but all signs kind of point at this moment to him returning to the Bucks for the 2025-2026 season. And maybe we do the song and dance again at the trade deadline or next offseason. But for now, we're going to table the discussions until we hear something more. We did hear more today about Kevin Durant from Brian Windhorst. He dropped the gem of the report on Giannis, and he also did his classic, "Now why would they do that?" saying Kevin Durant will be traded in the coming weeks prior to the NBA draft. And Shocker, he listed one team, and it was your Knicks. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because if the Knicks do make a move for Giannis, or if the Knicks do make a move for Kevin Durant, we're going to break it down on this channel, and we will be going live. If you love the Knicks and you want multiple free videos every day, it's video number 3 of the day. Subscribe to the channel, join the channel, and help us get to our goal of 77,000 subscribers. All righty, Windhorst this morning on ESPN's morning show Get Up, saying the Knicks are definitely a team that is going to have some interest in Kevin Durant. There are going to be a handful of them. A handful of them, could have named any of them. But as we know, Knicks for clicks, he named the Knicks. Or does he know something that maybe we do not? Windhorst expanding upon that, saying, I do believe Kevin Durant will be traded in the coming weeks. Today, the Suns are naming their new head coach. He's at an introductory press conference. They've been going through that process, and I expect them to look into the Durant trade market pretty soon. Now, there are going to be a handful of teams that have interest in Durant. The key with Durant is this. He has 1 year left on his contract. He is going to want to sign an extension, and he is going to want to be a part of the process of the trade. And are the Suns going to let him be involved in the process? That's a key factor going forward. Here's a screen grab of what went on this morning on the program. Wendy hitting the why would they do that? And I definitely didn't screenshot this at the time that Giannis dunked over, or KD dunked over Giannis for any reason, right? But saying the Knicks are one of a handful of teams expected to pursue Kevin Durant. A key will be how much Durant's preferences drives the talks. There was reports that came out from Sam Amico, I believe that's how you say it, saying that Kevin Durant prefers to go play for the Spurs. So there is that. We do know the Knicks have showed interest in Kevin Durant not too long ago. You just got to rewind the clock to February 2025 when the NBA trade deadline came and it went. And it came and went with, as Shams would say, there was mutual interest between the Knicks and Kevin Durant, saying the Knicks made a big offer to Phoenix for Durant. Durant ultimately decided to stay in Phoenix, rejected a trade to the Warriors. Sounds like he may have rejected, or the Knicks trade wasn't good enough, but we do know that the Knicks and KD at least had mutual interest dating back to February, according to Shams Charania of ESPN. Wendy also saying this on Kevin Durant and the Knicks. The way the Knicks get this done, where they acquire Kevin Durant from the Phoenix Suns, is simple. They have to trade Karl Anthony Towns because of the money and because of the CBA. Welcome to life when it comes to talking about the NBA in 2025. You cannot talk trades unless you talk money. And the New York Knicks, they have to send out more money than they accept at this point. And to get to more money than $54.7 million, you probably are going to have to include the $53.1 million of Karl Anthony Towns, and then you add one of the rookies from last year or a veteran minimum player that is on this roster. It could be Tyler Kolek, it could be Pacome Dadier, it could be Kevin McCullough, or they could accept the option for PJ Tucker and include him in that talk. The reason that Karl Anthony Towns seems like the only way to get it make it happen is because you're not trading a 27-year-old OG Anunoby for Kevin Durant, who makes $40 million. Then he's still got to add $15 more million. And that's why Alan Hahn, who works for MSG, who covers the Knicks, and has his own radio show on ESPN, says the only way I think it gets done is with the Knicks acquiring Durant and the Phoenix Suns acquiring Karl Anthony Towns. And here's what it would look like. And you know what? I agree. Because I don't think the Knicks want to trade Mikal Bridges and Mitchell Robinson. And that would be $24 million for Bridges, $14 million from Robinson. It's $38 million. You're still $16 million away. You throw on Josh Hart too. Do you want to trade multiple people for for Kevin Durant? Or do you want to do a one-for-one swap, essentially? Towns to Phoenix, play with Booker, his Kentucky buddy, and Durant finally comes to the New York Knicks. Would you make this trade? Type A for accept, type D for decline. Look, I don't know how I feel about this trade. I do believe that if you had Kevin Durant for Cat, a guy that played in 62 of 82 games last year, a guy that played in 75 of 82 games the year prior, and he is averaging 26.8 points per game over the last 135 games, on better than 52% from the floor and better than 42% from three, I think you beat the Indiana Pacers. And I think it gives you a better chance to win the NBA Finals next year. But I also understand trading a 29-year-old Cat for a 36-year-old Kevin Durant probably doesn't give you the best chance in 3 or 4 years to win an NBA title. Why do you trade for Cat? Because it gives you a better chance to win the finals right now. And I truly do believe that it does immediately next year. It also gets you out of the Karl Anthony Towns business, who is under contract for, I believe, the next 2 or 3 years. And in 3 years, he's going to be making $61 million. He's also a 7-footer. That's going to be 30 years old this year. And we know, and if you don't, 7-footers, once they get to 30 years old, they stop peaking. They don't even plateau. They usually fall off a cliff. You can also strike while the East is open. Giannis and the Bucks, they're not going to be good next year. Like, that just is what it is. The Boston Celtics are dealing with injuries of their own, and it could be the Knicks and Pacers on another collision course in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Cavs will still be there, yes, but I believe the East is up for grabs. Another major reason the Knicks could look to trade Cat for KD, and it coincides with this, it gets you out of the Karl Anthony Towns business. And it gets you to a spot in the summer of 2027 that would be a major reset for the New York Knicks. The only players you have on your roster in the 2027 summer: OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Miles McBride, Tyler Kolek as well. That's it. That would include $110 million. As we know, Mikal Bridges is under contract for the 2025-2026 season, but he is not for the 2026-2027 season. So this would essentially be the 2026 summer. Heading into that summer, you would only have a total team salary of $110 million. The salary cap for the 2026-2027 season, $170.6 million. You would have $60.3 million in cap space, with Karl Anthony Towns' money turning to KD's money. He's on a 1-year deal, off the team this time next year, and Mikal Bridges is entering the final year of his deal. So you can go all in for the 2025-2026 season. You would have a full max salary slot and cap space and $60 million in the summer of 2026. And you could totally retool your roster by accepting a max player into a trade or going out and signing one. Is it the best thing in the world? No. Is it the worst? Not at all either. I think if you're Leon Rose, you've probably thought of every situation of how this could unfold. But I think when you talk about this trade, you got to ask yourself the question: what is the goal for the New York Knicks moving forward? Is it to give yourself the best possible chance to win the NBA Finals next year, or to give yourself a chance to have a 3 to 4 year window to win it all? Because I do believe trading Cat for KD gives you the best chance to win next year. A starting lineup of Brunson, Bridges, Anunoby, Durant, Robinson, with Hart and McBride coming off the bench, I believe is the best team in the Eastern Conference. And I believe that it's better than the roster that you would have if you just ran the gang back next year, which would feature Brunson, Bridges, Anunoby, Hart, and Towns, or Towns to the 4 and Robinson to the 5. Like, what's a better roster to win it all? Like, I think that top one is the best starting 5 in the NBA. And I'm not talking about on paper like the Knicks was, where the Knicks weren't actually good together in a net rating fashion. I don't know. I think if you can have Kevin Durant next to Jalen Brunson and he's your bona fide number 2, and you got 2 good defenders around him in Bridges and Anunoby, and an elite rim protector, an offensive rebounder in Robinson, you could beat anybody in this league. Obviously, health would be important. Robinson's got to stay healthy. Durant's got to stay healthy. Anunoby has to stay healthy. But if you're talking about what gives you the best chance to win next year, I think it is trading KD for Cat. Trying to give yourself a chance to win the title one time over the next 3 to 4 years, I think you should keep Karl Anthony Towns. It's going to be a long off season, and we're going to break it down every step of the way on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that thumbs up icon. And if you want to talk more Knicks, hit me up on social media.